All right. And then I'm going to start off by just reading off the list of modules that are getting released next week. There is a release next week on Wednesday, April 3rd. There's 12 modules that are on track right now. They're listed in the agenda that Gail pasted in the chat, but I can also just paste the whole list here. This is the list I know of right now. Certificate DSC, Networking DSC, Office Online Server DSC, Security Policy DSC, SharePoint DSC, SQL Server DSC, Storage DSC, X Active Directory, X PS Desired State Configuration, X Web Administration, X Windows Update, and then X Win Event Log is getting released again, but it's just getting released with a note that it's been deprecated and moved into Computer Management DSC. And as far as I know, there are no breaking changes right now. But if you know of any, please let me know.
That should be correct. I'm sorry if I missed any change logs. I've seen the message.
Yeah, it's all good. And then I don't know.
Hey guys, yeah, there's no breaking changes from my end, but I have a feeling Active Directory CS DSC needs to go out as well. I'll just check on that for you.
Okay. And then I don't know if Yorick, he's a maintainer on SharePoint DSC. I don't think he's here in the call right now. But he sent me a note earlier today that apparently there's an issue with PS Script Analyzer right now for resources that are using SIM subclasses in their MOF files. He opened an issue on PS Script Analyzer, but apparently it was blocking all of the tests on the SharePoint repo. So he just wanted to let us know about that. And if that's still happening during the release next week, that could be a problem as well. So here, I can, I'm just going to paste exactly what he sent me in the chat window here.
It's an issue with the latest version, the 1.18,
yeah.
if I remember correctly. Yes, I've seen that. I haven't had time to have a look yet.
Yeah, so just be warned that apparently there are issues going on with PS Script Analyzer, and they may block some of the resources from the release next week, but hopefully it'll just be temporary and we can get it fixed.
Hi guys, Yorick here. Just joined. The quick update. Today I did some troubleshooting on the root cause. I discovered where it is going wrong, what the solution could be. I communicated that back to, I think it's Christopher. I'm not really, my C# skill set isn't that good. So I communicated all the things that need to be updated, and he's going to work on it. And hopefully within 1 or 2 days, he's able to fix the issue. And then I don't know if they do an extra release or something like that, but hopefully it will be fixed within a couple of days.
Sweet. Thank you.
No worries.
Perfect.
All right, Gail, do you have any updates or anything you want to share?
Yes, so I'm just following with the agenda. If anyone has anything to say, like Scott done right now. Active Directory DSC does not need to what?
It doesn't need to be released, it sounds like.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be released. Sorry, I said, yeah,
no,
it's just a region.
No worries. So I'd like to welcome, there's a few new maintainers. They're all from Microsoft actually, but different consulting parts. So I'd like to say thank you to Chase, Mike, Ryan, Jason, Jan-Hendrik, and Tyson for coming and helping out, maintaining the resources. You have the list on the agenda as well. Thank you guys for coming. And then looking forward to work with you. I haven't set you the permissions yet, but that should come probably tomorrow or just after that. And so that's good because if you want to be a maintainer, don't be scared if there's already a name against a resource. Feel free to say, hey, I'm volunteering for that resource, because that allows people to work on some of the resources, especially Johan and Daniel, who's going across all the resources if time allows. So that gives them a bit more time to go and look at other PRs and do more reviews. And we always welcome people to just, even if it's occasionally, just come and then do a review, help improving quality and changing. It's not just about the contribution, it's also about reviewing someone else's contributions. So yes, thank you everyone for coming. And then I have a few other points very quickly. I'm closing very old PRs that have been abandoned for a long time because sometimes the resources have been changing too much, and it's there's no point keeping those. If you see that one PR has been abandoned and I haven't reset that, removed the label, just let me know and I can have a look. I'm trying to go through them correctly, so I already make a few changes and released some of the ones that I thought were quick to fix. But some very old ones, and I think about X-Web administration and some that were adding tests that maybe was 2 years ago, then I'm just going to close them off so that it cleans up a bit the waffle board. Which leads to my new point, the waffle board. I don't know if you're familiar with the waffle board, which is a good view of everything that's going on. Waffle board is closing down in the next couple of months. Sending the link here, so then you see what's going on. So in about 2 months, we're going to have to move off and maybe use GitHub projects or something similar. We still need to find out something that provides the same kind of visualization. If you have any suggestion or you want to help with that, feel free to show your hand. I wanted to also highlight something that we discussed last time that didn't get recorded, but just to clarify, and I discussed with some of the maintainers, we don't support WMF4, I'll say that. It's not officially supported for some of the resources because we can't test it. So just to make sure, like, if you want to support it, or if a resource is supported, it's better if you show it, or maybe you add a tag or something. But otherwise, don't expect it to be supported. And if you know of anyone or any reason why it should be supported and tested, then let us know. If really it's a pain point. But for most of the maintainers we talked about, it's very hard because we don't have any visibility on who's using WMF4, like the WMF4 version of DSC. And oh yes, and we start to move off Gitter a bit because it's not the most convenient, and we already some of us are already on the Pushcode Slack, which is the PowerShell Slack. So we're trying to, at the moment, it's mainly Johan, Daniel, and myself on Gitter, and we're moving to the PowerShell Slack, also available in Discord, which is the Pushcode one. So I will send the link, which I forgot to add. But it's pushcode.org. I think it's slack.pushcode.org. And let me just check that, and then I will send it. So we just, there we go. That's the Slack. So that's the PowerShell, what I believe people can regard as the PowerShell Slack, like the worldwide PowerShell Slack. And we just, there's a DSC channel in there, and we usually are there, and then we answer questions. And if anyone wants to talk to us, feel free to go there and then directly send a direct message to us. And that's all in the agenda, except, oh yes, tagging releases. So actually that's one for Katie. I believe you're tagging the releases as part of your process.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen an issue somewhere. I think it's, yeah, there's one of the resources that may not be having the tags.
Yeah, so the story with that actually is that some of the modules haven't gotten released in, say, 2 years plus. And we used to have a more automated release script that tagged everything automatically. But there was a bug in there that it didn't actually pull before it was tagging. So it was tagging, say, like old commits and saying that that was the most recent release, and it wasn't. And so we removed that, and we've been fixing the tags, but only for the modules that have, say, been released since we put in that fix. So in the past 2 years-ish. Yeah, so if there's any that you think need to get fixed, I can go in and fix those pretty easily. Just let me know.
Okay, so if you see anything getting released and not getting tagged, feel free to raise it, and I will try to have a look at the other ones.
Yeah.
Thank you. Clarification. I think that's it for me. Yes. So if you have any questions, anything, feel free to raise it. Yes, I will be on paternity leave the next month, but I'm still gonna answer emails and maybe helping Johan and Daniel if there's a permission issue. So feel free to @ me. It's just probably gonna take some time for me to answer. But who knows? You know, it's 3 AM here, so maybe it'll be just fine.
Oh wow! Best of luck, Gail.
No worries. All right. So if you have, as I can see in the chat window, if you have issues with getting an invite for the Slack channel, feel free to just send me a Twitter or send me something, and then I will talk to Joel to make sure that this is working, and then I will try to have a look at this. So it may take some time. So sometimes the service to register takes some time. But I know people joined, I think, yesterday. So it might be hit and miss a bit. So I will try, like, just @ me, and then we'll just send me a Twitter or something, and then I will have a look at this. And I will ask Joel to have a look at this. There is. And I'm taking your email so that I can do it. Anything people want to raise or any questions people may have? No. Wow, it's pretty quiet, which is good.
It's great to have you on, Gail, by the way. You know,
Thank you.
Giving us all a hand.
Thank you. Yes, so there's things we're working on. Obviously there's the backlog of the PRs, trying to move them through. If you're being stuck, or if you see that a PR hasn't moved for a long time, again, just tag me. I will try to at least see if there's anything I can do, or sometimes just waiting for one of the maintainers to have a look at. I don't want to, if there's already active maintainers and they just need time, then I will probably just make sure they know this one is coming and then give them some time, because I don't want, I'm not an expert in some of the technology, so I'd rather have an expert in the technology to just have a look and then make sure it's correct. There's some other works we're working on, and we discussed a bit with Daniel and Johan and also Katie, which is improving the integration testing. And we don't have something to show you yet, but we're looking at options, and I've been using Test Kitchen for a long time, that's no secret. And we'll see if that's something we can integrate and something we can maybe use a bit more. So what that would allow you to do is I create tests, like the integration test, as some people already do, and then I can run it on my virtualization environment, whether it's Hyper-V, whether it's Azure, or it's vSphere or Vagrant, and then I can run the resources, run the integration tests, and then someone else can do the same. So we just need to share the base images, having the same common image, and then everyone can run the test to make sure it works well in the environment. That's the idea. We need to deliver on that, but just to let you know that this is a work in progress. And if you have any experience, if you have any feedbacks, I've been using Test Kitchen for a few years now, but if there's better solutions around, or if it's something that we need to have a look at, feel free to let us know. Just I'm reading through the chat because I let it go. Okay. So yeah, there's questions about SQL Server. I don't know if Johan is around actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here.
There you go.
I trying to figure out what the status of SQL Server DSC is that the question? And what kind of status are you looking for?
It's on track for release next week.
Yeah, Aaron's question is, what's the status of SQL Server? So I guess it's SQL Server DSC. Yes, of course. So if the status is if it's gonna be released, it's gonna be released in a week or so, right, Katie?
Yep, Wednesday, April 3rd.
Yep.
So, and who's using it in production, just to make sure like everyone knows about this? As in, I'm asking Johan, how do you think about the level of quality and these kind of things?
Yeah, I think the quality is good. Of course, there are a lot of issues, so there's extremely a lot of issues. So there's like 300 issues. So please test it in test before using in production, as always. So, but the resources we got should be good in production too.
Yeah, and we always welcome new testers, and raising issues is good, especially if you have sometimes people open issues like I have a problem doing X, Y, and Z, and the problem is it's not necessarily easy for us to reproduce it, at least reproduce it quickly. So please give us as much details as you can, and that helps the maintainers having a proper look at this.
Yeah.
So the question is there a help page to help me getting started using DSC for setting up SQL Server?
I think there are blogs around. You have if you look in the repo or if you download the module from PowerShell Gallery, you have all the examples part of the release. But there's blogs setting up always on and such. If you Google it.
And that's a very good question that you can, there's different places you can post this kind of questions to get a lot of community feedback. The Slack channel is a good place because there's quite a few people in there that use DSC very regularly. Otherwise, the PowerShell.org forums in the DSC sections, as there there's a few people monitoring this, so you can get quite a few feedback here. There's a question, because I'm joining you, does that mean you will hear more about Datum? Datum, for those who don't know, it's a way to manage configuration data. You will hear from me anyway, so it's not really related. If it helps, then definitely you will hear more about it. At the moment, the work is focused on the DSC resource kit, and if there's need maybe to go more into the DSC configurations, and the idea is the idea of testing is if you do testing, you should be able to test not only the resources, but eventually also the composite resource and DSC configurations. So maybe that will extend to it, but it's not the main focus at the moment. Hey, thank you, Katie, for the example.
Mm-hmm.
Any further questions? I'm also welcoming any feedback you may have about the resource queue, the experience, like if there's something which you find difficult to do. If it's just being slow, taking time, then thank you for volunteering to help maintaining. But we can try. Like if it's really taking too long, maybe we just missed the PR. So feel free to tag me. But if there's anything else that would make your life easier as a maintainer, as a contributor, then feel free to let us know. If there's things we should be saying, if there's lack of documentation, let me know, and we can see if we can prioritize this. And I'm starting to add a few, it's not really RFC, it's more like a voting to see people's interest in some requests. So in the DSC resources repository, there's issues, and then I will try to label them in some ways so that it's clear that it's a vote. And then I want people to just thumbs up if there's an interest to it. At the moment, there's only one, which is about script signing. These are the kind of things we're looking at, but if it's low priority, then it's a bit on the back burner when we have time. If something is more critical to help you, then raise it, and then I will transform like your request into a vote and see how many people are voting it with just a thumbs up. So it's low tech, but hopefully that should provide enough visibility for us to have a bit more information of what needs to go on, what needs to be worked on. Any suggestions on that? Like, do you have any feedback, people in general, like something you would like to see happening more? Like, I don't know, maybe changing the time because it's too early in the morning for the DSC community call? Just saying.
It's good for me.
Yeah, no, I know I'm a bit, there's not that many people in my time zone. Maybe Australia actually would like it, because I'm in the same time zone as Australia at the moment. I thought I heard something. No?
I think, yeah, from my perspective, I mean, the more people we have doing code reviews, the better. Because I think that's probably the hardest part at the moment. It's just, and myself doing a lot of them, and keeping on top of those is quite a job. So yeah, the more people we get reading those style guidelines and sort of knowing what we're looking for, and I think from my perspective, I'm always happy to provide guidance on that. If anyone sort of goes, oh, well, what would we maybe do there? Just tag me, Slack, whatever, however.
I was trying to look for blogs about SQL Server DSC too. But I have seen them, but now I can't find any. I thought I want to paste the blog I've seen, but so this seemed to be an open area. If someone want to blog about this, please do.
I'll give it a go.
Thank you for volunteering. Oh, we need more than one person, so feel free to everyone to blog about it. Give it a try. Oh yeah, some TechNet blogs. You see, it's an opportunity to create new blogs about those, right, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, composite resource would be good, actually. Yeah, that's another point, actually, that has been raised before. If you have composite resources, and if you have like maybe configurations that you want to share, and if they're not in the gallery, you can publish them in the gallery to start with, but you can also share them and blog about them. And that's something we're probably going to try to improve the experience of sharing and also like having a better visibility on the composites. So especially the composites, I don't know if you're familiar with composites, it's just a way to organize your resources into a block that you can reuse in any configuration. And that's something which is very useful, and that's why Datum really relies onto this because it improves the composition model. So just feel free to share those, and that's probably going to help us as well, maybe doing some testing around having multiple resources together. Because at the moment, a lot of the testing is very unit-driven. Maybe we can look at doing something a bit more cross-resources driven, like a bit more realistic approach to environment management. So yes, if you have composites, please share them, and even if it's in this chat window or into Slack, feel free to let us know. I'd like to see more of the composite resources or configurations.
I was going to say, Johan, for SQL Server, is the auto-publish examples working on SQL Server?
Sorry.
You know how you created the auto-publish example code that will automatically publish examples up to the PS gallery? Did we get that working on SQL Server?
No, that does not work on SQL Server yet. I haven't come to that. So if someone want to do that, please do.
So if people are not aware, there is a method of having the examples for modules automatically published up to PowerShell Gallery as scripts, so you can actually search them and say, oh, I need an example for deploying configuring a network adapter with 3 IP addresses in a DNS server. There's actually examples that are auto published every time the PowerShell every time the module is released to the gallery. But only some modules are currently supporting that.
And they are all released under DSC Resource Kit user, I think. So they are not released on the PowerShell account.
Gotcha. So yeah, so you can search the gallery for those, and you should start seeing them show up as more resources move across to it.
Exactly. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a link for them while we talk here. And
yeah, just a side note that you reminded me, maybe I should also tell people that there will be the PS Summit soon on I know Michael Green, which is the PM for Azure, DSC, and this kind of thing. Tell me if I'm wrong, Katie, if I get the naming wrong. Right. So he will be speaking over there. Then there will be early June. So this one I think is sold out and has been sold out for a long time. But I believe there might be recordings, so keep an eye on this. And they will be at PSConf EU in Hanover early June. And this one has not sold out yet. And then there's another event, PSConf Asia, coming up in September in Bangalore, India. And Michael hasn't committed to go yet, so I need to push him to submit a session maybe, but we'll see what happens. I will be there anyway, and I know there's already a lot of DSC content coming up. So keep an eye on the DSC content. It's I think it's just it's been not advertised as much as it's actually is been growing. So it's been growing. There's a lot of actually third parties using DSC more and more. You can see VMware that is working on DSC resources. So I think that's a good thing. The community is growing, so we just need more people also maintaining, and it's going the right way. So release example. Go ahead, Johan.
Yeah, Daniel, haven't you released examples in your modules? Inside quotes. I can't find them. Not on the DSC resource kit.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought so too. I'm sure they were up there. I'll have to have another look. I think networking was all up there. Well, it was supposed to be. I'll double check. I'm definitely, no, I configured it to do it. I'm sure we checked it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Let's double check it. Yeah.
All right. If there's no other points, if there's anything else to discuss, feel free to bring it. Otherwise, I don't want to hold up people here. And I want to thank you again, all the maintainers that are doing an awesome job. And they can help you because they help me. So you see, they help me getting better at reviewing. And then feel free to tag them and ask questions. People are very nice in that community. So feel free to ask if you're not too sure about how to help, where to start. Or even like there's still 2 resources that are in the pipelines to get integrated into the DSC resource kit. We're still discussing how we do it, and then maybe if we need to change the process, like having an incubator, like if we're not completely happy with the state of testing, if we want to bring that into the DSC resource kit as a probationary period, and then making sure it improves over time. So we're still discussing this, but there might be more resources coming in. So some blogs from TechNet are moving, so thank you, Ryan, for the link. Maybe Mike wants to check that one as well, if his blogs for X Exchange are there. All right, that's it from me for today. Anything else you'd like to bring? Cool, I can go back to bed now.
Fair enough.
Actually, it's not true. I think I have another meeting in a bit. All right, thank you everyone.
Okay. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no worries. And let me know if you can't get into Slack. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys. Cheers.
Bye bye.